Alright, so I'm going to go through the money problem on page 3. These are money problems, and I'm only going to do one more example. So I'm looking at the cost of 12 oranges and 7 apples, which is $5.36. And then I'm looking at the cost of, say, 8 oranges and 5 apples, which is $3.68. Find the cost of each orange and apple. Okay, so what I'm saying here is that X is going to be the cost of oranges, because that's mentioned first, and Y is going to be the cost of apples. And obviously this would break it down to each individual one, but you can kind of go from there. Anyways, according to this, 12x plus 7y is equal to 536. And then 8x plus 5y is equal to 368. Okay, now these are elimination problems. On each one of these, you're going to have to make a switch. You're going to have to put parentheses. Here 8, here 12, and make one of them negative. It really doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go with the bottom one just because I feel like it. 8 times 12 is 96x. 8 times 7 is 56y. 8 times 536 is 48, carry the 4, 28, carry the 2, 42, 88. And then 12 times 8 is negative 96x, because we're doing negative 12 times these. 12 times 5 is negative 60y. And 12 times 368 would be, let's see here, 12 times 8 is 96, carry the 9, 72 plus 9 is 81, carry the 8, 36, 44, 16, negative. X's cancel. 56 minus 60 is negative 4y. So right now we're able to combine and cancel, eliminate, and then if I subtract these two, I get, let's see here, 44, 16, that would be, let me double check, 1 minute. Okay, you should get 228 negative, and again, I would double check that, so making sure I'm kind of doing that right. 4288. Okay, 1 second. And that's why we double check it, because I realized I was about to make a mistake. It's actually negative 128. Okay, so from there I need to divide by negative 4. And y is equal to 32 cents. Okay, so I would take this 32 cents and I would put it here in place of the y. So I'm going to say 8x plus 5 times 32 cents is equal to 368. And then I could multiply. 5 times 32 would be 160 equals 368. Subtract. Let's try writing that a little bit better. You get $2.08, and then you can divide. So $2.08 divided by 8 would equal 26 cents. So the answer is the oranges cost 26 cents and the apples cost 32 cents each. I would say this: if you got something like a crazy weird decimal, then you did something wrong. This should always come out even to the nearest penny. So like, it should always come out even to those nearest pennies for all of these problems. Okay, but notice how quickly and easy you can set it up. All those problems should be like that. Now the motion problems, don't forget, if you haven't gotten this down for whatever reason, make sure to write it down and then kind of go from there. Depending on where you're seeing this, because apparently I had this messed up and I do apologize, but if you're looking at this from Google Classroom, the order is slightly wrong. But if you're looking at it from the packet I gave y'all, this would be page 4. But if you're looking at it on the Google Classroom, it's page 5. So but look for the title, Motion Problems. That's kind of obvious. Anyways, let's look at this. And I've gone over these where, like on number 2, it said in Prairie Dog Creek, Jerry can row 60 kilometers downstream in 4 hours. So notice again, distance goes here, time goes here, and then you multiply. Okay, so that should be hopefully fairly easy, and then you kind of work those out however you need to. What I would do here, well, this one is fairly easy. Like these, the y's can eliminate, and I would get 8x is equal to 96, and then divide by 8, and x is equal to what, 12, and this is kilometers, so this is kph, kilometers per hour. Then you could put it back into here, and you could say like 4 times 12. That's horrible. Let's try that again, making it look nicer. Like here, and say 4 times 12 plus 4y equals 60. That's 48 plus 4y equals 60. Subtract. Every time you're going to subtract, and then you can divide. I do apologize for the watermark that's going to get in the way, but here y would equal 3 kilometers per hour. Okay, so for number 2, it was 12 and 3. But what happens if you're like doing like number 3? Number 3 becomes a little bit more difficult. Okay, so let me erase all this and then look at number 3. Okay, so on this one, the way oopsie, let's not do that. On this one, we did something like this. You wanted to get rid of the x. Y'all are used to getting rid of the x. Okay, so you can do that and say here 6 and 3, but the x's are positive, so you need to make one negative. So then I would have 18x plus 18y is equal to 36 times 6 is 216. Negative 18x plus 18y is equal to negative 108. Okay, subtract, you get 36y is equal to 108. So when you divide, y would equal, should be about 3. And this is also kilometers per hour. Okay, that could go into either equation. So let's say I do 3x plus 3 times 3 equals 36. I get 3x plus 9 equals 36. Subtract 9, 3x is equal to 27. And then divide by 3, and x equals 9 kilometers per hour. On all these numbers should come out even. There should be no decimal answers, no fraction answers. And you only have a few more to do. So, try to follow these steps. They don't change. If you need extra help, look at the notes on elimination. Mixture problems, we talked about a total and an equal, our total equation and mixed equations. I'm going to go through this, and let's look at, say, number 2. Peanuts were worth $2.25 a pound. So I had set this up. Okay, peanuts were worth $2.25 a pound. Were mixed with cashews worth $3.25 a pound to produce a mixture worth $2.65 a pound. How many pounds of each kind of nuts were produced to produce 35% of the mixture? Okay, every single one of these mixture problems starts off as x plus y. Then you need to figure out what was the total that they made. Well, they make 35 pounds here. Now, let's look at it. The x is the peanuts. So it's $2.25 for the peanuts plus $3.25 for the cashews. And it gives you a mixture, something that's in between. That's what a mixture means, of $2.65 times the total. Okay? So you know that if you multiply the $2.25 times the x, the number of peanuts, you would know how much it costs you to buy all those peanuts. And the same thing for the cashews. And what you're doing here is you're figuring out how much total 265 times 35, how much total you spent. 92.75 total for this mixture. Seriously, you paid too much for this stupid freaking amount of peanuts. But anyways, so what we have here at this point is we have, I'm going to say this, 1x plus 1y equals 35. 225x plus 325y equals 92.75. So if you take this and say, want to get rid of the x, this would be elimination. You can multiply by negative 2.25 and here by 1. And if you do that, you would get negative 2.25x minus 2.25y equals 35 times 2.25 equals 78.75. Okay, and then of course you would have this equation, which would not change, 2.25x minus 3.25y, I'm sorry, plus equals 92.75. Combine, the x's cancel, you get 1y equals 92.75 equals 14. These numbers, because these are going to represent some type of mixture, should probably be whole numbers. Okay, and then of course you would divide. So y is equal to 14 pounds. So they got 14 pounds worth of cashews. Now if you put this one back into this first equation, you're saying x plus 14 equals 35. And if you subtract, you get x is equal to 21 pounds. So they got 21 pounds of peanuts and 14 pounds of cashews. So all these problems should work like that, especially considering you're buying pounds. At best, you might have to get, like, say, a 0.5, like a half a pound of something, but I do believe if I work them all out correctly, all of them should come out to whole numbers. Obviously, I don't have the answer key for this, so I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have to do these problems myself. So take the time, please do the work, and do try to set them all up. At the very worst, you should have them all set up. Okay? That is it for today. I hope you watch this, and I hope you do well with the substitute tomorrow, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.